Lesson 3. Understanding instructions. Let's open up our original first program and look at the instructions that we used. File, Open, Program 1. You will notice that our Program 1 has been changed, and it's now the same as the Program 2 file that we saved. This is because every time we attempt to run our program, the IDE automatically saves any changes that were made. So let's start by changing it back to the original Program 1 by removing the extra lines that were added. And let's save this as a new file called Program 3. Okay, now let's look at each line and see what it does. In this example, our program steps through each line of instructions, starting with the first one and ending with the last. Our first instruction reads, Graphics 640-480. This line declares that we are going to use a graphics window that is 640 pixels wide and 480 pixels high. By default, our Mac's IDE automatically colors all basic commands yellow. Many of our basic commands are what we call functions. In this case, the command graphics is a function, and we need to let this particular command know how wide or how high we want our window to be. Values that we give to functions are called parameters, and it's good to remember this word. In this particular case, we are obliged to give or pass two parameters, width and height. Our second instruction is the command setColor, which is also a function that has three parameters, red, green and blue, which are used to determine the color. The value of each of these parameters is between 0 and 255. In our program, we use a lot of red, no green and no blue. To some of you, this might seem a funny way of expressing a color value, but for the time being it's best just to accept that this is how it works. Our next instruction is draw text, which is once again a function. This also has three parameters. The first parameter is Hello Pete, the text that we wish to draw. We follow that with two more parameters that determine where we wish that text to be positioned on the screen. We use the value 100 pixels from the left and 100 pixels down from the top. Okay, the next instruction is flip. Flip is also an instruction, is also a function, but it does not expect to get any parameters. Flip needs little explanation so that you grasp the way that the graphics instructions work. You do not need to understand why it works this way, but you do need to understand that it does work this way. Imagine a drawing board. We always draw on the back side of the board, and we cannot see what it is until we flip the board. So the command flip is used to show what we have drawn. The next command, which is also a function, is wait key, which requests the program to wait until a key is pushed. Wait mouse is a similar function that waits until a mouse is pushed. The final command is end, which means end the program. There is in fact nothing more happening, so it would end anyhow, but it's good practice to put it there. Later on you'll see why. So that's it. That's our 6-line program explained. We are able to put comments into our program as long as we start our comment with a single quote mark. So let's add some comments so that we can remember what it is we've done, and when we look back we can understand what it is we wish to do. Here we write new graphics window, and then just below set the color. Then draw text that 100, 100. Show our graphics. Wait for a key to be pressed. And exit. Okay, finally, just a few extra points. In most other languages, parameters are enclosed in brackets. So it's good practice to do that. It's not essential, but I find it also makes it easier to read. Here, we will put brackets in front and behind each of our parameters. And remember, of course, to tidy up our code. One other thing about writing comments. You can write comments as you go along, as you insert the code, or indeed you can add them later after the program is written. In general though, space things out and try to keep it tidy. Later, you may wish to pinch snippets of this code for use in another program. So make it easy to read when you look back later. Finally, we will save the program.